Sarah Slay and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a how-to tutorial video for beginners on how to do eyeshadow. Now I feel like I'm a good person to do this type of video because I feel like I just got out of that beginner stage and I'm moving more into harder looks and things like that. But I wanted to make a beginner's video just so I can tell you guys kind of like what I used to do versus what I do now. And maybe that'll help you beginners out there on how to do your eyeshadow a little better if you're looking to do it a little better. Before we jump into this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe down below. And without further ado, let's just jump right in. Alright you guys, so to start out, you always put down a base first, whether it's just your concealer or I'm going to be using the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, but a concealer will work just as well if that's all you have. I'm just placing this all over my lid to make sure that it's nice and even and smoothed out. Alright, after you have your base down, you just kind of want to set it with something that's closer to your skin tone or maybe even a translucent powder, something like that, just to set down your base. It'll make it easier for your shadows to blend smoothly on top of it. And today I am using the Jaclyn Hill x Morphe palette, and for setting my base, I'm just going to be using this color here. I feel like it's the best for my skin tone, so I'm just going to put this all over my lid and everywhere that I put the base. And I am using a big fluffy brush for this, just so it disperses evenly. Now the first thing I can tell you guys about actually putting on the shadows and things like that is you want to start out with a transition shade, and this is just so that it helps you move from your skin tone, or if you have concealer under your brow bone, this will help that it transitions smoothly into the either darker colors or shimmers or whatever else you're going to put down at the bottom. So for that, I'm going to use this warm tone color here. It's kind of like a brownish red, I would say, but light. And I'm going to place this in my crease and also a little ways above. But if you do have a smaller lid, you don't have to go as much above the crease as I'm going to. And one thing I will say is when I was beginning and just putting my eyeshadows on and things like that, I didn't build up my shadows to where I feel like they should have been. I feel like I was only putting on a little bit of shadow because I could see it and then I would just be done with it. But really nowadays I try to build up the color. I try to build it up enough so that it's noticeable. But if you struggle with that, if you look at your eyeshadow and then you look at someone else's eyeshadow and you're like, why isn't mine as pigmented? You probably just need to build it up a little more. And that's what I found with how I do my eyeshadows now. Another tip that I could give you is to take your time. I know one thing that really made me struggle in my eyeshadow skills is that I always tried to be quick, and that's just not going to work out if you really want a good eyeshadow look or a very pigmented eyeshadow look. Then you need to take your time. If you don't have much time, that's another situation and another video. Next, I'm going to take this red color here and definitely a smaller brush, and I'm just going to put this in my crease. I'm also going to take it on the side a bit. If you have a larger lid space like I do, you want to take this crease shadow and try to work it up a little higher as well, but don't cover the transition shade all the way. Now I'm going to blend a little more with a smaller fluffy brush. Next, I'm going to take a darker color to deepen up the outer corner, and for that I'm going to take this burgundy red here and I'm going to be using a packer brush for that. And with this, I'm just going to pat it in on the side. And I'm making sure that I'm not taking it out too far to the side, just so that I can keep the other colors that we put on in sight, and it kind of gives it an ombre effect or ombre effect. Ombre, that's Spanish. And then I just bring it into the crease just a little bit. Next, and I pretty much always do this unless I want an all matte look, I like to take a shimmer shade and put it on the lid. And for that, I'm using a smudger brush. I just feel like I get the most pigmentation out of it that way. You could also use another packer brush. And for that, I'm going to be using this shimmer shade down here. It's kind of like a darkish red purple. What I like to do is use my Fix Plus and spray my brush first. But if you don't have Fix Plus or a setting spray, then you can just use water, like with a spray bottle. And I just take my brush and dip right into the pan. And I'm going to put this all over my lid and try to keep it out of where I put the other shadows, but it'll go on top of them a little bit. Now I'm going to take that same packer brush and that same shadow that we put out on the outer corner here, and I'm just going to add a little bit more on the side to transition the dark shade into the shimmer. And now usually I would put on like a wing or some eyeliner, but today, just so I can show you guys the most that I can, I just want to take a black eyeshadow, like the one in this palette, and I'm going to run this right above my lash line and sweep it out just a little bit, kind of just to give us a little wing. So just in case you don't have eyeliner or you're not very comfortable with using a liquid eyeliner for your wing, this helps a lot. So I'm just going to take a smaller angled brush and just use this to run this black on my upper lash line. And I think for this look, I'm only going to take the black shadow halfway. I don't want to go all the way across, just so that we can make sure that that shimmer shade is the life of the show and it just pops. Now for my brow bone highlight, I like to use either a light shimmer shade or maybe kind of like a white color. And I try not to use too much and try not to go too far down, or else it just looks a little creepy. It doesn't look that good. So I'm going to focus most of the shadow on the bone here and then bring it out to the sides. Today I'm going to use that same shade that we put on the brow bone to put in my inner corner. Now I'm just going to curl my lashes because they are straight AF, and then I'm just going to put on some mascara. I almost forgot the lower lash line. That would have been bad. For that I'm going to use my smudger brush, and I'm just going to take the matte shades that we have on the lid and just put that right under my lower lash line. For the darker one, I'm just going to put it on the outer corner. Alright you guys, that is it for today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. And also don't forget to subscribe so you can become part of my slave family. But that's it for today, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you come back for another video, and I'll catch you guys in that next one. Bye!